Is switching CRMs hard? It can be if you don't do this first. I want you to watch to the end of this video because I'm going to go over what you can expect. One of the most common questions that I get inside of any networking group or anytime I speak to a group of people and or get on a sales call with anybody is, I just want to know, is it hard for me to switch from this platform over to this platform? And my short answer on that is yes, it is probably going to be hard. It does not have to be cumbersome or challenging though if you are first looking at a few different important points. The first thing is moving data from one system to another hard? No, that part is not hard. However, making sure that your data is organized and your new platform has in there all of the custom fields, tags, important dates, and the opt-ins that you are going to need in order to transfer a customer's record from platform A to platform B. So again, transferring data is not difficult. It's usually an export from one and an import into the other. However, you do want to make sure that you are mapping out the appropriate fields that are going to be important for you and your business first into the new platform. Now, let's talk for just a minute about mapping over from an old system into a new system. A lot of times the reason that people are transferring out of an older platform is because at one point they built it out for a business, say 10, 20, sometimes even 40 or 50 years ago. They've been collecting a lot of data on a large set of leads and customers. That's great. It's fantastic. It also could mean that you have a lot of replicated fields or old data or things that are inconsequential in a new platform. Understanding what data you need from your old system to put into your new system will be a lot easier if you first map out your current customer journey. A customer journey should be a living, breathing document within your business. This is going to be your roadmap to the different workflows, the automation that you need in your business, as well as the manual processes within your business, and the total customer journey and the ideal customer journey that you would like each client to experience as they are experiencing your brand. So I would encourage you that if you have not updated or evaluated your customer journey in the last 6 months, that's going to be your first crucial step. A second important factor to consider, again, if you are switching from one platform to another. This is also a critical step if you are going from an all manual process, or what I would sometimes call maybe an undocumented process, meaning you've recently grown and now you're ready to move into perhaps a more robust system. So as we're looking to go from one system to another, like I said, you want to map out that customer journey, but then you're going to want to take those different parts within your customer journey and you want to go through and blueprint them. I have a very specific way that I like to map out my customer journeys so that they have a beginning and an end, and instead of building out very large workflows or processes in a new system, I would rather keep it to smaller, simpler, and more concise workflows that have a clear beginning and a goal or an end point for that specific workflow. An example that I can give you on that is perhaps in platform A, you had a process that took somebody from a new sign up form all the way through their product purchase and then into their new client onboarding sequence. This is not uncommon for many businesses to do this, to take it from brand new lead all the way through their customer onboarding. And it's not to say that's wrong, but what it does do is it creates a lot of failure points, and that probably is one of the key reasons you're moving out of or wanting to move out of this old or former software. So I think it is important that as you're moving into the next software, again, that you take those key critical parts and you understand where something should begin and should end. So within it, you may have a webinar invitation email sequence, and then you may have another workflow for once they register for the webinar. And then perhaps in a different workflow, you then have your post-webinar email sequences, and then product purchase sequences, and new client onboarding sequences. Taking and breaking apart each of those into smaller and what I would often call simpler steps is going to help you and your team be able to find breakages quicker and scale your business significantly faster. It will also make things a lot easier from a management point for your team. Another important part to keep in mind is your integrations. Again, you may have different systems integrating and being held together by a number of different platforms. Now, not every system does every single thing that your business can need or want to do. So you will often have a lot of different systems that perform different functionalities. As you're looking to switch from one platform to another, it's evaluating whether or not those integrations will work within the new system you are looking at, but then also whether or not the new system could perhaps combine or take the place of some of those older systems that you may have. And sometimes it is not worth the time or the energy for you and your team to try finding an all-in-one platform that will be able to perform everything that perhaps your old systems do. Instead, look again at those integrations and whether or not that is a good fix and opportunity for you and your team. The final part, as I mentioned, is your team and being able to do this. I think it is critical to take a look at what are the total costs with switching or moving on to and choosing a CRM. This is very important because a lot of times business owners will look to various team members to be able to integrate within a new system, simply because a team member has understood and gotten very proficient at either integrating or using older systems and platforms may not mean that it is the most effective use of their time or your money to move them over to trying to learn an all new platform. Again, it can be very challenging for that one person and take a great deal of time for them to learn all of that information. So I would tell you that that is an important part when we are looking at the cost benefit, is looking at the team member's time and whether or not that would be beneficial for you to work with an agency or an outside third-party integrator. If you'd like to understand how I go through and map out my customer journeys and blueprint, I would encourage you to watch this video right here. I always say that simplicity scales and complexity fails. I'm going to encourage you to simplify some of these processes so that as you're switching from one system to another, that you're able to scale quickly and not slow your team and your business and your growth down. I look forward to seeing you on this other video.